guys, how's it going? So today I got a little baby making music for you. We're going to do My Pony by Ginuwine. This song has always been a banger. The ladies always love this song. So if you want to learn it and seduce your significant other with it on your anniversary or something, maybe give them a little Magic Mike dance at the end of the night before you get your groove on, you know. You can go through all that, but it's a great song. There's a lot of cool stuff you can do with it. It's pretty open to interpretation because the main riff of the song is just kind of that voice vocoder talk box thing, and they don't really identify the third in the song. It's kind of just a root and fifth power chord, but we're going to turn all that into like minor seventh chords, do your typical R&B thing, and then we'll go over all the vocal melody. We'll use double stops that are your C sharp minor pentatonic, and then I'll show you a cool little solo you can play at the end, some fun little licks you can throw in. But let's just go ahead and get into the intro part. Alright, so the main part of the song is just the same four chords that's looped throughout. So we just have our C sharp minor 7, G sharp minor 7, F sharp minor 7, and then your B major. Now I'm taking liberties with that because on the main part that kind of has that talk box voice vocoder thing, the ow, 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 whatever it is, it really doesn't identify a third. It doesn't really say if it's major or minor. It's really just a root and fifth. You kind of just have, right? But I think making it minor 7, it just gives it that more 90s R&B. 99% of R&B songs are minor 7 chords anyway. So I thought, why not just turn them all into that, make it sound even more kind of, I guess, sexy, if you will. And so we'll just do that here. And then after that, we'll arpeggiate with some palm muting those same chords. Alright, so you have your C sharp minor, bar A down on 4, 6 on D, and 5 on B. Just pluck A, D, G, and B with your fingers. Mute it out, hit it again. Then we're going to go to G sharp minor 7, 4 on E, mute out the A, bar D, G, and B on 4. And take the same shape 2 frets down, thumb on the low E on 2, mute out the A, bar D, G, and B on 2. Mute it out, hit it again. Then go to B major, 2 on A, bar D, G, and B on 4. So that'll be your main rhythm part. Okay, and then from here, I'll just get a clean tone, and basically I'm kind of just copying like the TLC No Scrubs. I'm kind of taking that vibe and just ripping that off and just palm muting it. Alright, so we just palm mute, same chord, C sharp minor 7, go A, D, G, B, pause. It's kind of mute, mute, pop. I kind of let the B string ring out a little more, kind of half mute it. So after C sharp minor, go to your G sharp minor 7, 4, 4, 4, 4, then down to 2, 2, 2, 2, arpeggiate your F sharp minor 7, hit it again, then go to your B major, 2 on A, bar D, G, B, 4, and just A, D, G, B. Alright. Alright, so that'll be the two parts you can use for the main song. Just let that loop throughout, and then we'll get into the vocal melody. So let's go ahead and go over the vocal melody part. Alright, so for the vocal melody part, we're going to be using all double stops out of your C sharp minor pentatonic scale. If you've never connected all 5 positions of the minor pentatonic scale together with double stops on each pair of strings, stop what you're doing, go figure that out, and work on that for like the next 6 months. Because that stuff will come in so handy down the line. Like it'll help you in a rhythmic way, it'll help you identifying triads, always knowing what position you're in, never getting lost on the fretboard. That was the first thing I did, and that really took me a long way, just memorizing all that stuff. Because all these things are everywhere, right? We're working right out of a C sharp minor chord, right? Right inside of there, you have all these double stops. And you can walk it straight down. right? They're all over the place. So make sure you learn that if you never have. It'll definitely help you out in the long run. But for the opening line, we have I'm just a bachelor looking for a partner. So I'm going to be doing a lot of slipping and sliding around, a lot of vibrato, just trying to mimic more of like what a singer sounds like. So we're going to hybrid pick all this, pick finger, pick finger. We're going to slide into 6 on D and G, then go 4, 5, G and B, go back to 6 on D and G, then slide in 4, 5 to 6, 7, G and B, go back and pick 4, 5 on G, give it some vibrato, G and B. Then we go back to 6 D and G and slide off. Okay, then looking for a promise, or looking for a partner. It kind of does that partner twice at the end with like a little delay effect. So we have 4, 5, G and B to 6 on D and G. We're going to do that twice. Okay, then we're going to slide up. We're going to slide up from 6, 7 G and B to 8, 9 G and B. We're going to do that twice. Alright, so we have okay, and then the next part we have someone who knows how to ride without even falling off. Okay, so we're going to slide in. I'm going to use my ring and pinky finger. Fingering is kind of important here because we have to get back to this chord all the time, and in order to do that, sometimes I'm going to play these with like some odd fingerings, either like my index and ring, or my ring and pinky, whatever, just because it facilitates an easier transition to the next thing that we're going to play. So we slide into 7 G and B with ring and pinky. This way you're already set up. Then we're going to go 6, 7 G and B. Then we're going to go 4, 5 G and B, and I'm going to switch and use my index and middle finger, right? Then slide up to 6, 7 from 4 and 5. Go back, pick 4, 5 G, B, and then get D and G on 6. Okay, then back to 4, 5, give it some vibrato. Back to D and G on 6, alright? Okay, without ever falling off. I'm going to slide into D, G on 6. And then 4, 5, G and B. Pause. Hit it again on 4, 5. Then go D, G on 6. Then slide up 4, 5 to 6, 7, G and B. Pick 4, 5, G and B. And then we're going to slide back from 6 on D and G to 4. Okay, give that some vibrato. So you have okay, so far we have okay, and then what is it? Better be whatever pushed me to my limits. So we'll start out. We'll slide in 6 on D and G. Go 4, 5 G, B, back to 6 D and G. Then we're gonna hit 6, 7 G and B. Slide into 8, 9 G and B. Go back to 6 and 7 G and B. And then go 4, 5 on G, right? Okay, then we're gonna go. We'll slide in 6 D and G. Pluck 4, 5 G, B twice. Then 6 D and G. And then limits, we'll just slide in twice like we did before. 6, 7 to 8, 9 G and B. Alright, so that'll be your second little part there. Okay, then we're going to go. Here we're going to slide in. Okay, we're gonna do kind of that, ooh, when I break you off, whatever. We're just trying to mimic that vocal quality, right? So I'm gonna slide into 8 and 9 G and B, and just slide off of it, girl. And then we'll go 6, 7 G and B, and then from 6, 7 G and B, we're gonna bar D and G with our ring finger on the 9th fret. We're gonna do that twice, back and forth. And then after you do that twice, bar D and G on 6 and hit that, girl, when I break it off, blah blah blah, whatever he says, right? So and then I pluck this twice, D and G on 6, and then I'll hit 4 on D and G, right? So we have, where am I? Okay, so after here, like I can tell you that you won't want to get off wherever the lyrics are. I'm going to slide into DG on 6, and then pluck 4, 5 on G and B twice. And then I just kind of feel it, right? I just go back and forth between 4, 5 G and B and 6 on D and G, right? Right, and then from there, I just kind of do that. And then you can slide from 4, 5 to 6, 7 back to 4, 5, right? Or you can pluck it however you want to do it, okay? And so that'll be your first little part. So let's go over all that very slow, okay? We have okay, then we get into the chorus part, alright? So for the chorus part, we're gonna go you gotta have 2 sections to it. Okay, you have the second part's a little more sparse than the first half of it. So we have if you want it, whatever the lyrics are, I'm just following the melody, right? We're gonna slide into D and G on 6, then go 4, 5 G and B. Then pick that and slide it into 8, 9 G and B. I'm going to use my index and middle finger here just because it makes it easier to transition to other parts of the little vocal melody here. So after you slide into 8, 9, slide into it again. Then go back and hit 6, 7 twice, give it some vibrato. Then slide back into 6, 7, give it some vibrato, hit it twice. Then slide into 8, 9. Then after 8, 9, go 4, 5 GB and slide off 6 on D and G. Alright, so that's a little bit to chew on there. So we have okay, then we're going to repeat that. We're just going to change the phrasing. Same thing, 6 D and G, slide into it, go 4, 5 G and B, slide into 8, 9 G and B, then we pause, then go 6, 7 G and B, hit it twice with vibrato, slide into it, hit it twice again, then we're going to slide in 6, 7 to 8, 9, then we're going to go 4, 5, 6, 7 to 8, 9 on G and B, alright? So you just slide it in, slide them right up, and then we repeat, okay? And then it does that like twice, so your whole little chorus you have. Alright, and then it just repeats that again. Okay, then at the end we're going to slide off. We're basically sliding off of a power chord, right? We're just going. But we're just going to hit the 2 strings at a time, right? So we just have D and G on 6, slide off. Gotta do a slow slide, right? I kind of even bring the guitar back to make it more like. Anyway, you gotta make sure you're on the beat or it's gonna sound kind of funky, so make sure you're really in between when you're just pa, pa, pa. Right, you gotta really sit in the pocket between the snare, right? It's really what kind of makes that groove happen. So we go D, G on 6, slide off, mute it, do it again. Then we're gonna go A and D on 6, slide off, then 4 on A and D, slide off, then repeat that again. And then after you go 4 on A and D, we're gonna go 4 on D and G, working out of that B power chord there. Alright, we'll just repeat that twice. Alright, so then from there we'll get into the little solo part. So let's go ahead and get into the solo. Alright, so for the guitar solo, there's not a guitar solo in the song. I thought it'd be cool to throw one in, kind of give it that smooth, sexy R&B type of feel. So we're going to start it out doing some of those minor pentatonic double stops I was talking about earlier. We're going to go. Alright, so after we do those little slides out of the chorus, I guess you could call it 2nd fret, 4th fret, wherever you want to slide from. Just kind of slide in, doesn't really matter. Just slide in on the G string up to the 13th fret. We're going to hybrid pick all this. Pick finger, pick finger, pick finger, right? We're going to get 13 G, 14 B, and then I kind of vibrato these double stops along the way. Then we're going to walk back to 11, 12 G and B. Then we're going to go 9 G and B. Then we'll go 6, 7 G and B. Then we'll go 4, 5 G and B. That'll be your first half, okay? Now when you get here and you hit G, B, 4, 5, go back and hit 4 on G again, and that'll be the little pickup note into this bend. So after you hit G on 4 again, take the 4th fret, your index finger, bend it down a half step, then go 6 G to 6 D, then 4 on G, and then hit 6 on G, slide into 9 on G, go back to 6 on G, right? Then we'll do this little kind of Reiki pull-off thing. This will be a theme kind of throughout. We're going to go 6 on G. Then you want to mute out that 6. Kind of use your pinky and your index finger to mute out that G. Then mute it. You want to get that throaty mute. Then pull off 9 to 6 on D. And then get a 9 on A string. I'll use my ring finger to hit it. Alright, and after we do that, and then we'll get into it. Alright, so from here, I'll go, what is it? I'll slide into 11 on D, and I'll pop 9 on G twice with my middle finger, and then go back to 11 D, then hit 9 on G again. Then we mute out that G, do that same throaty Reiki pull-off thing. Pull off 11 to 9 on D, and get 11 on A. Alright. And so after we get into that, what was the phrasing again? Yeah, so after that one, we're going to repeat the first half and then walk it up. So we have 11 on D, slide in, pop 9 on G twice, back to 11 on D, then hit 11 on G, then do that same Reiki thing, mute out the G, and then pull off 14 to 11 on D, and then get 14 on the A string. Okay, and then slide into 14 on D, hit 11 on G twice, back to 14 D, then we're going to hit 13 on G, do that same thing, we're going to hit 13 on G, mute it out, and then pull off 16 to 14 on D. Where am I? So after you get up here, slide in 14 on D, hit 11 on G twice, and then hit 14 on D again. Then go 13 G, mute it out, pull off 16, 14 on D, then get 16 on A, then get 14 on D, bend it down, then go 16 A to E, then go 14, 16 on A, then slide up 16 to 18 on A, and go back to 16 on A, right? Alright, so that's your first little half. And then from there, we kind of do this call and response type of thing, right? So we're going to slide in to 13 on G. Then I'm going to go 12 to 14 on B and pluck that with my middle finger. This will kind of be our motif to get in and out of these next few lines. We'll start it the same way, phrase it the same. Slide in 13 G, pop 12 to 14 B with your middle finger. Then go 13 on G. Then I'm going to go up to 17 on B. I'm going to rake down all these strings dead, and then when I hit B, I'm just going to bend it up gradually like a half step. Alright, then repeat the same thing. Same thing, 13, 12 to 14, back to 13, and then go to 9 on G, bend that down a half step, right? So you have... Then we start out with this same motif again. Slide in 13 on G, go 12, 14 B, back to 13 G. And this time we're going to slide in on the high E. We're going to go from 16 to 19. I'm going to rake all these down again, dead. Slide in 16, 19. Then I'm going to pop 16 on E. And after I hit 16, I'm going to go 14, 16 on E. I'm going to go to 12 on E, bend it up like a quarter step. And then get 14 on B to finish it and give it some vibrato. Then we'll get into the next part, right? So yeah. Okay, then after you give that 14 B vibrato, hit B on 14 one more time, and we'll do this little descending thing. Alright, so we have, where am I? We'll go 12 on E, and then you want to deaden out that high E string, pull off 14 to 12 on B, and get 13 on G. So you have, I'll use my middle finger sometimes I use the pick, whatever feels natural to you. And then just pull off 14 to 12 B, and get 13 on G. Then we're just going to walk down. We're doing this right out of position 2, a C sharp minor, position 1, and position 5. Alright, so after you have position 2, then we go to position 1. You have 9 on E, deaden out that E, pull off 12 to 9 on B, get 11 on G. Then position 5, get a 7 on E, then pull off 9 to 7 on B, get 9 on G. Then we go back into position 1, 9 on B, pull off 11, 9 G, and get 11 on D. Then go 9 on G, pull off 11, 9 D, and then land 11 on A. Then we're going to go 8 on G, bend it down like a half step. Then gradually just let it bend back up. Okay. Then we're going to go 11 A to D. Then back to 9 on D. Okay, and then we're going to slide back 11 to 9 on A. Then go 7, 9, 7 on A. And then we get our root C sharp here, 4th fret on A. I don't really like the low tone, so I went here instead. Alright. So that'll be your whole little solo there. Alright, so let's go ahead and go over that solo really slow from beginning to end. I'll try to go as slow as I can without losing the feel of it. So we start out with the slide. Alright, so that's the whole little solo there, and you can add on, noodle all sorts of stuff, man. You can go on all day in that key, but anyway, that's the whole thing. There's a lot of stuff going on. You see, we just took this simple little 4 power chord pop song and turned it into like a more R&B thing, and just made it in a way where you can play it by yourself with a loop pedal, or you can play it in a band this way. You know, there's a lot of different things you can do, a lot of fun to be had with this kind of stuff. So, you know, I hope you enjoy this. I hope you learned something new. Just practice slow. Have fun. See you next time.